Oh, it
We're
told
doing
me it's
it.
recording. All right.
All right. So I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and maybe tell me how long you've been going to camp.
I am Ella Mead. I have been going to camp since I was about 5 when I started going as with grandpa and grandma when they were counseling and being nurses and all that.
Who is your grandpa and grandma?
Mike and Joyce Mead.
All right. I bet lots of people know who they are.
Oh, I'm sure.
So you've been going to camp since you were young, but this year was a little bit different only because we had 2 years prior to this year where we didn't have normal camps because of the pandemic. So the first year of the pandemic, we did some online camp things. Were you able to participate in any of those?
I was able to join Sanctuary for a little while. And then other than the online nothing online, but I was able to go to the day camp last year.
So last year we just had a 1 day day camp kind of thing, which was fun, but it wasn't
The
wasn't
full
real
camp yeah.
wasn't real camp. It was fun, right? But so tell me, because I know we've talked before, what did you think about camp this year coming, leading up to it? Were you excited to come? Were you nervous to come? Were you doubtful?
Leading up to it, I was kind of nervous just because I hadn't been in a few years.
So the
And
last camp you had your first year of senior high camp and then missed two, or you were still junior high camp?
I went to my last year of junior high camp, and then we had 1 year of senior high camp, which I wasn't able to go to.
Oh, because you were working.
Yeah,
So you'd never been to senior high camp before,
I
really?
had I had not.
So you were a little nervous this year.
I was, and I was super nervous that there was only going to be a couple people, but the
There was
people
more than a couple, but
there was more than a couple.
so then you got to camp and there was how many campers? 15?
I think so.
And so what did you think? Tell me about your experience.
I
The
thought
evolution of your experience.
I thought the amount of campers we had was just about perfect. Being a smaller camp, it really gave us time to like connect with each other and get to know each other more, and just it felt like I had created a bunch of relationships that week that I will never lose. And we got to do a lot of fun activities where we had to be a team, which taught me how to work with people a lot better. Um, Camp was really good this year. It was nice to be able to just be one-on-one with people a lot and get to have good conversations with them and not be so rushed and feel like I need to talk to 35 other people all at the same time.
So it felt really good to be back to overnight camp.
Yes.
So what stands out as, maybe just pick one or two of the highlights from camp to tell me about?
Definitely the worshiper's path. It gave me some time to reflect on like my life and what was going on in it and just realize that God was there and helping me through everything. And that's why I had come this far. And campfire, always campfire. It gives us time to be silly and serious all at the same time. And that was my chance at camp to just get everything off my chest.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because I always expect that if I ask a kid what was their favorite part of camp, they're going to say the fun stuff like swimming or color run, but really the best parts were the
We're
deeper parts.
yeah. I'll always remember the fun stuff, and the fun stuff was fun, of course, but it was really nice to just be able to be in touch with myself and God in those serious moments. And I feel like that's what we need a little bit as older kids, growing up and learning how to live by ourselves. And
What do you think will stick with you? You've maybe touched on it already, but what do you think will stick with you from your camp experience, and maybe I'll say camp experiences, as you move into adulthood? Because you graduate this year, and who knows what's next. So what will you take away with you that you got from going to camp that you don't think you would have gotten anywhere else?
Definitely the connections that I have with everybody, and just knowing that I have those people for life, and everybody's done really well at keeping in touch, and just sharing that what's going on in their lives, and again, the worshipper's path.
Isn't it amazing how, because especially with a small camp, and I saw your camp because it was at Park of the Pines, it's where we live. It was a diverse group of kids, even though it was a small group of kids, and probably not the kids jumping to a conclusion, but maybe not the kids you would have become friends with if it was a bigger group.
Yeah, that is accurate.
I
I
think
don't
that's so cool.
It was really nice to I think we all stepped out of our comfort zones with each other too. And just kind of we were vulnerable with each other, I feel like. And there was no judgment at all, which was extremely nice.
That's awesome. That's rare to get that, isn't it?
Yes.
Where you feel that safe. So my last question is, and it's not a question, but if you were talking to somebody who had never been to camp before, what would you tell them about why they should or should not go to camp?
I would tell them to absolutely give it a try. Step out of their comfort zone and just take the experience. Go in with an open mind, because I know a lot of kids are scared that they're going to get there and get discluded and be left out and get judged by all the other kids, maybe because of their appearance, because of their, I don't know, outlook on life. But that's not the case. And I wish more people knew that, and knew that they didn't have to be nervous to go to a church camp. And that you're not sitting in a classroom all day, reading the Bible. You're doing activities that relate back to God. And yeah.
So I think what I'm hearing you say is it's about building community and friendships,
Yes.
which is why we're Community of Christ, right? Funny thing. Awesome. So now you move up to young adult status,
Yes,
and you have plans.
we do.
You
I
have
am
plans you
trying.
hope to do anyways,
Yes,
which are
that's the goal. My cousin and I are thinking about getting a young adult group retreat together at the Park of the Pines for ages 18 to, what'd we say, 30 or 35?
something in there. Yeah.
Yep. Just to have a camp-like experience again as older adults, older kids, whatever you want to call them.
I'm an older adult.
I
Young adults, that's what you want to be.
young adults.
That's
But
great.
just because I know I'm super bummed with it being my last year of camp and not being able to participate in camps again. Hopefully I'll be able to counsel next year, but
That's awesome.
yeah.
One of the benefits that happens when kids come up through camps is sometimes they become leaders. It sounds like maybe that's working with you.
I hope so. That's the
Great.
goal.
That's great. Well, Ella, I won't keep you any longer. Enjoy
Alright.
your evening, and thank you for having a conversation.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. I'll send you my edited version.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'll
Thanks.
see you later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.